All right, so now let's create the controller function for the contact us functionality. And it's something we've done before. So what I got to do is I'll just make things a little bit easy and fast. I'll just open my user controller also. So let me have this controller here, and then I'll just open the user controller. So if I just need anything, I can just quickly grab it. So let's come here and let's add the functions. So when we want to fire up this contact us controller, there are two things we expect from the front end. One is the subject of the email, and then the message. So I'm going to destructure that from the body. We're going to expect the subject and the message. So those are the two things that will come from the front end. So request.body to destructure it. Then also we want to make sure that the user is logged in, or that it's a user that exists in our database. So let's find the user. So I'll say const user, and remember we are protecting this route, so we're going to have access to the request.user property. So but first, let's bring in the user model. If you want to check the user in the database, you need to have the user model here. So bring in the user model, and I'm also going to bring in the send email functionality. So send email. Aha. So come back here and let's grab the user. Let me give some space. So this user is going to now be equal to, we're going to await user dot, I want to find the user by the ID or their ID, find by ID, and that ID is going to come from the request dot user, and then we can just point to the ID. So dot underscore ID. Yeah, so that way we're going to find the user. But what if the user doesn't exist? So if there is no user, then let's open that up and let's just do response.status, and I'm just gonna see no user, maybe 404 or 400 bad requests, and I'll just see, I'll throw a new error, and I'll just see user not found, please sign up. So user not found, please sign up. Yeah. So but what if we have a user, then we want to send the email? So if we have a user and we have the message and subject, then let's send the email. But let's make sure that the message and the subject is not an empty string, because if it's an empty string, then we are sending nothing. So I'll add some validation here. So validation, and I think I should validate before doing the, anyway I can just do it here. So validate. So I'll say if the subject, if there is no subject, or if there is no message, then I'll just throw an error. I'll copy that, and I'm still going to validate from the front end anyway. So here I'll just say please add subject and message. Okay, so now what if these two things are in place? Then we want to try and send the email. Now remember, we've already sent an email before in the user controller where we did our reset password. Was it no forgot password? So let me search for forgot password. So here, this is where we sent an email. So let me just go to exactly where we sent the email, and I know we did it in a try catch block. So you see we have a subject, or although we already have a subject, so we have a send to and send from, and then we just did this try catch block. So you know what I got to do first? Let me just grab this try catch block. I'll copy that, and then I'll just come here and slot that in. Okay, the only problem now is that we have the subject, we have the message, we don't have this send to and send from. So I'll head back here as well, and then I'll just grab the send to and send from. I'll copy that, and then I'll slot that somewhere here. Okay, so now let's ask ourselves a very important question. A user is in the front end of your application. Let me show you. A user is on the front end of your application and they send an email. who do you want them to send it to? You want them to send it to you. Okay, so but when you want to reply this email, who do you want to reply to? You want to reply to them. So here you see this send to. I'm also going to send it to, I'm also going to point to our email. So I'll copy that and change it to control. You know what, let me duplicate this first before I change one. So here I'll just say send to myself. So you see, I'm sending to myself and from myself, but no problem, it's fine, because you cannot send from their email. In other words, you cannot send from the email of the user. It has to be from an email that you've slotted into your .env. And remember, it's our email we created, the Outlook email. So the last one we want to do is who are we replying to? So here I'll say reply to. Okay, remember we have that property. So reply to, now we're going to reply to the user email, right? So the last parameter here that we'll add will be reply to. Okay, so if it's successful, we're going to send this message, but instead of saying reset email send, we'll just say email sent. Okay, email sent. And then if there is an error, email not sent, please try again, and that's fine. Or something went wrong, try again, whatever. So that's about it for this functionality. Now we can go ahead and test it. And personally, I'm going to need to change my internet connection, because I told you that one of my IP address was somehow blocked or something. So I'll change my internet connection and we can test this stuff. Alright, so that's done. I'll bring up Insomnia and I will test. Remember, we are expecting a subject, and here I'll just say, I am building node, not node actually, main course. And then here I'm just going to add a message, and then here I'm just going to say that hello from this side of town. Okay, let me just stop here. All right, so now I'm going to test this stuff. What's going on here? Am I sure there's no error here? Let me just be sure. Okay, yeah, so everything is fine here. And I'm going to come down here and fire this guy. Fire. So fingers crossed, let's see. Aha, so we get this message here. True, email sent. Now let's check our Outlook email to be sure that the email was actually sent. So, and if you hold on a couple of seconds, it will be displayed here. So, but then I'm still going to check my Outlook email. So I'll just open a new tab and I'll just do Outlook. So apparently I've not gotten my email here, but let me just bring this down and check. So if you come to the console here, let me scroll up. Aha, so you see, so I'm even getting a timeout error on this my new internet connection. You see, so it has happening to me as well. So if it has happened to you, don't be alarmed. As long as you get that notification that the email was sent, just know that when we upload to the server, it's going to be sent from our server IP address, not from our internet connection IP address. Okay, so but so far so good, everything is working just as we want it, and we've implemented, I think, most of all the functions we need on the back end. So in the next one, hopefully we're going to start working on the front end of our application. See you there.